Hey, this is Andrew Jones. You're watching On Deck with Tyler.
Hey guys, Mike Nevers here. You're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
Hi, this is Phil Necro. You're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
This is Mark the Banks. I'm on deck. Tyler Redmond.
Welcome into On Deck. I'm Tyler Redmond. As always, make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell for notifications so that you can stay up to date with all things Braves baseball. And of course, you can always follow me on social media, Tyler Redmond at BubblegumJesus. That's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere you can find me. So Mike Soroka took the mound last night, and he looked like Mike Soroka until the fifth inning. Things took a turn in that fifth as two walks led to an unearned run given up by Soroka. He would be taken out soon thereafter with a score 2-1. Darren O'Day would take over, and he would give up 3 runs following Mike Soroka's solid start. Kevin Kiermaier drove in the tying run, and with 2 outs, Hunter Renfroe followed with a 2-run single that made the score 4-2. That Hunter Renfroe, I'll tell you, he's going to be a name that Braves fans know for a long time. It feels like he's always on base versus the Braves. Very good player, but man, he kills us. Soroka began the game facing off against Charlie Morton, former Atlanta Brave. Morton gave up 6 hits, 1 walk, and got 7 strikeouts, and those strikeouts are still killing the Braves right now. Just because we win doesn't mean we can overlook that. They had 10 strikeouts last night. There's only 27 outs in a game. Strikeouts were 10 of them. And if you watched the game last night, you had the pleasure of hearing from Braves legend Hank Aaron. One of the things he spoke about last night is his mentality at the plate. His mentality at the plate is to just make contact. The Braves are struggling to do that right now. They're struggling to put it in play. But they're not lost at the plate. They're not chasing pitches outside the zone. They're just not catching up to the fastball. Tom Glavine mentioned that last night. It is getting better gradually, but this phase of not being able to make contact has surely affected the win-loss record. Braves are now 3-3 with 2 losses against the Tampa Bay Rays, and they finally got a win last night. Hopefully they'll be able to do the same tonight. But hopefully the strikeout numbers will go down, but last night strikeouts weren't really that big of a factor because the Braves' bats were hot last night. Players of note, Dansby Swanson was 2 for 4, and I swear he's having an MVP campaign right now. He's really looking good for the Braves. He was 2 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. Marcell Ozuna was 2 for 3 with a run scored plus a walk. Ozzie Albies was 1 for 5, but he had a 2-out RBI on an infield single. And Ender Inciarte, he was only 1 for 2, but he had 2 really good, solid at-bats that both led to walks, and he would come around to score. I didn't mention him, but I'm about to. Freddie Freeman had a great night last night. He was 4 for 5 with a run scored, 3 RBIs with a homer, and this is really good to see. Obviously, it wasn't that long ago that Freddie was dealing with COVID-19 symptoms, and now he's leading the Braves to a 7-4 win over the Tampa Bay Rays. He was quoted after the game as saying, "I feel pretty good. Every day I get better. I'm probably at 95, 96, 97%. The question of how the Braves are handling the DH spot is actually pretty interesting when it comes to Freddie. We've seen a lot of guys out there, Freddie himself, Ozuna, Matt Adams, but Freddie spoke on this last night saying that I'm not sure I'm cut out to be a DH, but that's the beauty of the game. You can come back today and switch it up a little bit. So I know that there's some thought of if you need to play DH, if your team needs you to play DH, just play DH. That doesn't work for everybody. Some players need to be in the field. They need to be having constant action. Obviously, that seems to be the case for Freddie, at least at the moment. But you see the different levels of play. You saw when he was a DH and you saw when he was playing first. I would tell you that in all likelihood, if Freddie wants to play first base because that's where he's most comfortable, the Braves are more likely going to put him there. In other news, Tyler Flowers and Travis d'Arnaud returned to the roster last night, and Travis d'Arnaud had his first game as an Atlanta Brave. Of course, they were sick, not with coronavirus, but with some other form of illness, hopefully just a bad cold. But with all of the precautions baseball and the Braves are taking, they had to stay at home. Regardless, it was good to see d'Arnaud get his first base hit as a Brave as well as his first RBI. He came around to also score a run. So good to see, and we spoke last night about the pitchers and how well they could do with 2 veteran catchers back in the mix, and I think that is still the case. I think having d'Arnaud around, especially having that bat in the lineup, having that guy behind the dish, I think really is going to make an impact, hopefully, for the young pitchers in Sean Newcomb and Kyle Wright. Tonight, the Braves face off against the Rays in their 4th game against Tampa. It is the 7th game of the season, and it's hard to believe that we're already a 10th of the way through 2020 Major League Baseball. Max Fried is taking the mound against Ryan Yarbrough. That is tonight at 7:10 at Truist Park. And like I said yesterday, I think the change of scenery might help the Braves and getting some sense of normalcy. Being back at Truist, I think, is going to help them. It helped them last night. So this is the last game versus the Rays before the Braves take on some more division play with the Mets, and that will be tomorrow. But the game tonight is 7:10 p.m. on Fox Sports Southeast. And I want to thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. We crossed that line last night, and we just continue to grow here at On Deck. And it's all thanks to you. You guys have been sharing the stuff. You've been on social media. You've been telling your friends. And it really shows. And it really shows in the numbers. So I really appreciate the fast growth. Hopefully we'll hit 2,000 sooner rather than later. But to help with that, you can like this video. You can subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so that you can be a part of what we have going on here at On Deck. And as always, you can follow me on social media, Tyler Redmond, at BubblegumJesus, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of the above. But that's all I got here for today. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time on Deck.